John lesson 50. John 11:23 through 27. I am the resurrection and the life, Jesus said to her. Your brother will rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at that day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, he shall live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? She said to him, Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who has come into the world. So we see Jesus challenged Martha right here, not to debate or intellectual assent, but to belief. He challenged her to exercise faith, just the same as he challenges each one of us today to do the same. Verses 28 through 38. And when she had said these things, she went her way and secretly called Mary, her sister, saying, The teacher has come and is calling for you. As soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and came to him. Now Jesus had not yet come into the town, but was in the place where Martha met him. Then the Jews who were with her in the house and comforting her, when they saw that Mary rose up quickly and went out, followed her, saying, She is going to the tomb to weep there. Then, when Mary came where Jesus was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying to him, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Therefore, when Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who came with her weeping, he groaned in the spirit and was troubled. And he said, Where have you laid him? They said to him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. Then the Jews said, See how he loved him. And some of them said, Could not this man who opened the eyes of the blind also have kept this man from dying? Then Jesus, again groaning in himself, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone lay against it. So, coming to the scene of Lazarus' tomb, Jesus intensely groaned in the spirit. In the ancient Greek, this phrase literally means to snort like a horse, implying anger and indignation. Personally, I think that Jesus was mad because of the sin nature that's in this world and all of the awful things that occur in this world, and that it can't be like it was designed to be in the Garden of Eden anymore until he rectifies things by his death, burial, and resurrection. So he was angry. And Jesus wept. That's the shortest verse in the Bible. Jesus wept. This was showing his human side and giving us an example of how to behave when we grieve. We need to grieve in a way that allows us to freely express our grief and weep openly as the need arises. Verses 39 through 44. Jesus said, Take away the stone. Martha, the sister of him who was dead, said to him, Lord, by this time there is a stench, for he has been dead 4 days. Jesus said to her, Did I not say to you that if you would believe, you would see the glory of God? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead man was lying. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me, and I know that you always hear me. But because of the people who are standing by, I said this, that they may believe that you sent me. Now, when he had said these things, he cried out with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he who had died came out of the grave, bound hand and foot with grave clothes. And his face was wrapped with a cloth. Jesus said to them, "Loose him, let him go." So we see that Jesus um, spoke to a dead body as if Lazarus were alive, because he's God who gives life to the dead, calls those things which do not exist as though they did. Romans 14:17 says, "Even God who gives life to the dead and calls into being that which does not exist." Jesus fought death at Lazarus' tomb and plundered the grave. Jesus told death that he would soon completely conquer it. Uh, in the future, when Christ returns, he again is going to do the same thing. He's going to speak, and those who are, it says in, I believe it's Thessalonians, that he's going to shout, speak, and the dead in Christ will rise first, and then those who are alive and well will be caught up together into heaven, ever to be with him. That's the future believers. That'll be it for this lesson.